With highlight reel plays, breakout rookies, and the injury bug doing as it pleases, the opening weekend and a half of baseball has been absolutely crazy. Matt and I are here to break it all down for you, so lock on in and stay tuned for today's action-packed episode of Locked On Fantasy Baseball.
You are Locked On Fantasy Baseball, your daily fantasy baseball podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, fantasy baseball fanatics, and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Baseball podcast, brought to you by the Locked On Sports Network, your team every day. As always, we're your number one source of fantasy baseball knowledge, and thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. I'm your host, Dominic Martino, here as always with my brother and my co-host, Matthew Ane.
Yo, it's good.
You can find us on all social media platforms and podcasting apps. Just search for Locked On Fantasy Baseball, and we'll be there. If you're also, if you're listening on a platform like Spotify or Apple that allows 5-star ratings and reviews, it goes a long way. If you could do that for us, helps the outreach of the podcast. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, hit that little bell below. It subscribes you to the channel. Also gives you notifications every time a new episode drops. Also, please be sure to like and comment because we love to talk fantasy baseball with you. So, guys, real quick, this episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Baseball GM app. Download the Ultimate Baseball GM app today and experience what it's like to be an MLB GM. Use the promo code LOCKEDON for when you download the app, and you get 100% bonus on your team. So today, Matt and I are breaking down everything that the first week and a half of fantasy baseball had to offer. We got a few, really good players that have exceeded, what we thought they were going to do. And also we got a few guys that have underperformed and, we're hoping that they can bounce back. But, Matt, I think we start off with the guy who's ranked number one out of everybody so far this fantasy baseball season, my brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's Bryan Reynolds. I have never seen a week one start like him. Like, God, he's either trying to get traded or paid. Because, I mean, geez. This week alone is just ridiculous. 33 at-bats, 10 runs, right? 2 doubles, a triple, 5 bomb skis. That's 5 home runs, 14 ribbies. 2 walks to 4 strikeouts and 2 stolen bases, batting .424. Oh, my Lord. Like, Bryan Reynolds, I was talking smack on you. I'm sorry. I mean, it's still only week one, so, I'm not going to hold my breath. But, Lord, oh, Lord, if you're an NFBC and you drafted him, you must be feeling real nice with that real nice start, because that's going to probably be about, a third of his home runs. So, let's go. Bryan Reynolds doing a great job. One of the ultimate early season studs of the fantasy baseball season. Week one, we're through it.
Yeah, man, as you said, this guy is looking for that new contract, and the Pirates are going to either have to pay him or get him to someone that can pay him because, as you mentioned, those numbers for Bryan Reynolds are fantastic. He's been hitting second every day in that Pirates lineup. Their lineup isn't fantastic, but, they got a decent little crew there. But while we're talking Pirates real quick, if you haven't heard, unfortunately, O'Neal Cruz goes down with was it broken ankle or fractured ankle?
Fractured ankle.
Fractured his ankle. I think
guaranteed
the timeline,
6 weeks.
Yeah, the timeline's at least he's out 6 weeks. Let's hope for the best with O'Neal Cruz. But once again, Bryan Reynolds, if you have him in fantasy right now, I think it's a bold thing that I'm about to say, but I think you hold. I think you hold because I think he's going to wind up on a better team. I just don't think the Pirates are going to pay him the money that he wants, and especially after this hot start, I'm sure he's going to be looking for more money. So I see him headed to a contender, within the next few weeks. If not, they'll wait till the trade deadline. But hold Bryan Reynolds for now. I mean, if you can get a top 10 outfielder for him, go by all means, a top 10 starting pitcher or something like that, by all means do it. But I would hold out for a haul on Bryan Reynolds. He's shown before that he can be a fantastic contributor in fantasy baseball. Just look back at that 2021 season Bryan Reynolds had 159 games, 559 at-bats, 93 runs, 35 doubles, 8 triples, 24 bombs, 90 RBIs, 5 steals, and he hit .302. With the bigger bags this year, it looks like, he's trying to steal a few more bases. He already has 2 in the book so far this year. He stole 7 last year. I think he could have upwards to, 12 steals, something along the lines of that. So Bryan Reynolds, man, definitely somebody that's going out so far. To our next guy here, and somebody that actually had a slow start to the season. We were a little worried about him, but he puts those worries to rest, and that's my boy Luis Robert. And oh boy, man, has he been on fire so far. And he didn't actually play today, but I mean, over the weekend here, he went 2 for 5. Yesterday, he went 3 for 5 with 2 bombs. I believe that was on Friday, and he had another 3-hit game on, what was that? Let me see real quick if my this thing wants to scroll over. It was a couple of days ago. He went 3 for 4 with 2 runs and RBI. But on the season as a whole, Luis Robert is the number 7 fantasy player so far. He's 15 for 41. He has 7 runs, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. He hasn't even stole a base yet, which we all know he's capable of, and he's hitting 366. I think Luis Robert, knock on wood, let's hope that the guy stays healthy, gives us 150 games this year. He could be a top 10 overall player. He could go 30-30 potentially. He's going to have to pick it up in the steals department if he wants to get there, but he's showing off that pop so far, and I think he's carrying that White Sox team. Got a lot of love for my boy Luis Robert.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? He's picking up the slack since Eloy just can't stay healthy, even though it sounds like there's going to be a positive note for him coming back next week. Or when first eligible. I think that's the end of the week. But Luis Roberts absolutely killing it with a double dong last week as well. So how you doing? Luis Roberts killing it. If you listen to me and bought low, congratulations.
There you go. That's what it's about.
All right, let's move on here. Let's talk about a shortstop here that's doing great, and that's Mr. Andres Gimenez. Right? I said that right? I didn't blow that.
You're on point.
I'm starting the day off right.
There we go. There we go, brother.
I mean, I'm actually really, really, really excited that the fact that we're seeing this from him so far. I'm hoping that this is a trend. Hold on real quick, because my Yahoo isn't playing nice today. Oh my God, stop being mean to me. Dom, can you read off his stats for me?
Yeah, I got you. So Andres Jimenez, so far in the season, he's the 30th overall, fantasy player. And my bold prediction is holding up at least decently. So he's only behind Gleyber Torres as far as second baseman go. And I did make the bold prediction that Jimenez would be the number 1 overall second baseman, on the season. But so far, the rest of Jimenez's stats are he's 12 for 35. He's got 10 runs, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. He's got 2 steals, and he's hitting 343. And I mean, he looks great so far in that Cleveland lineup. They got a lot of other good bats there surrounding him, protecting him in that lineup. He's been hitting. They've been moving him all around, recently. He was hitting 6th, he was hitting 7th, but, on April 9th, he hit, which is, at the recording, he hit 5th. And I see him moving up that lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a spot for him a little bit closer to the top of that lineup because, Jimenez is just out there getting it done, and I think he's, got a very, very bright future in this league as, he's only 24 this year. And, the plate discipline's looking all right. He's got 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, which could be a lot worse.
Mm-hmm. And Gimenez is honestly just going to keep it rolling here. I think that we're going to see a nice little upside from him, a great value on him this year. So how you doing? Yeah, Dom. And before we finish up our last stud for the season, for the episode, I think Dom has something to talk about.
So, guys, I'm really excited by our new partner and sponsor of today's episode, the mobile game Ultimate Baseball GM. Ever dreamed of becoming an MLB GM and managing your own professional baseball franchise? Well, guess what? Your dream has come true. Manage every strategic aspect of your team, play through the season, and lead your team to glory. In this game, you're responsible for hiring the right coaches and staff to manage your team finances, scouting and drafting players, and also managing those difficult personalities, navigating your franchise through free agency and all the ups and downs of a baseball season. Ultimate Baseball GM is completely free and playable without Wi-Fi, so you can play on the go as you want, when you want. I've been absolutely hooked on this game since I've downloaded it, and you can compete against your friends like Matt and I have been doing, and you should definitely do the same with your friends. Locked On Fantasy Baseball listeners get 100% free boost to their franchise when using the promo Locked On in the game store. So make sure to check it out today. To download the game, you can visit probaseballgm.com, scan the code, or just look it up in the App Store. Once again, that's probaseballgm.com to get your dynasty started today. Then, guys, we also have another new sponsor here for you that I'm also super excited about this one, guys, because we all have this problem. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, which I know we all have. I'm paying for a bunch of subscription services that I probably shouldn't be, and now, Rocket Money has helped me get to where I need to be with that. So Rocket Money monitors your spending and helps you lower your bills all in one easy place. You can try it free for 30 days, just enough time to try it and then completely forget about it. In fact, over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. You could be wasting money and not even realizing it. Rocket Money helps you find those forgotten subscriptions so you can stop paying for ones you don't use. Don't know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions, but the actual total is a lot closer to $200. If you don't know exactly how much you're spending every month, you need Rocket Money. Rising prices stressing you out. If you're looking for a way to cut costs, you need to get Rocket Money, guys. Stop throwing your money away and cancel those unwanted subscriptions now. And Rocket Money is an easy way to manage those subscriptions. Just go to rocketmoney.com/locked-on. Once again, that is rocketmoney.com/locked-on. So let's keep it moving here. We got one last guy, and let's see, who do we have? Oh, one of my other boys here, Mr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Matt, you wanna take the lead on him?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually really going to enjoy talking about him. I'm loving this. So Vlad is absolutely mutilating the ball. I mean, in 36 at bats, he's 16 for 36. It's phenomenal. 7 runs, double, 2 bomb skis, 6 ribs, 5 walks to 3 strikeouts. Phenomenal. Chipped in a stolen base, and he's batting .444 with an OPS of 1151. How you doing, Vladdy? I mean,
yes, sir.
Vlad is just doing everything we thought he was going to do. I'm so happy he finally is just being this dude. When I say finally, I mean the last 2 years. But I mean, it's so exciting for us to finally be here and be in the presence of somebody that can really be one of the top end players for the next decade of baseball. I love Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think that he's going to be an outright fantasy stud for the next decade and a half.
Oh yeah, Vladdy's my boy. A few years back when he first came up, I was taking him everywhere. I got him in a lot of dynasty leagues, which wound up working out for me. Brought me a couple championships last year. And Vladdy's number 16 overall player so far on the year. Absolutely love what he's doing. I think he's going to have a similar season to that 2021 when he broke out. And in 2021, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. played 161 games. He had 604 at-bats, 123 runs, 29 doubles, 48 bombs, 111 RBIs, 4 steals, and he hit .311. I think he's going to put up a very, very similar stat line to that year, this year. And, last year was a little bit down with the 32 home runs. He's going to bounce right back. The guy's got Aaron Judge upside as far as hitting 50-plus bombs, which I think, he's going to have that Aaron Judge, Pete Alonso type season, and it definitely could be this year for Vladdy. Before we move on to, guys that haven't performed as well as we want, I want to throw one sneaky guy in here real quick. I just want to talk about Wander Franco for 2 seconds. If you guys listen to us at all this offseason, I was praising Wander Franco, and I was like, I think this is the year. And Wander Franco is the number 9 player right now in all of fantasy. He has 6 runs, 3 bombs, 8 RBIs, 2 steals, and he's hitting .364. I just have Wander Franco, blowing up and hitting well over 300. It looks like he's already showing off a little bit of that power speed combo, and he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. So if you took him later in your draft, absolutely paying off.
Hell yeah. I mean, Wander Franco is just doing Wander Franco things. Again, Dom and I talked about the fact that, hey, that 3rd-year breakout could be the year, and this is it. I mean, year 3, we're seeing it, and boom. So, I mean, again, they were both young. Him and Vlad were both young dudes that just finally said, hey, we're here, and we're present. And also, too, I do want to highlight Matt Olson so far this season. Oh, my God. With 8 runs, 3 bombs, 10 ribs, batting .361. How you doing? Another guy that finally figured it out, and batting average is back up, and that was the only thing that left us wanting last year. So Matt Olson doing great. But
yes,
why don't you take it away with the first dud of the
someone
episode?
that's absolutely he's killing me this year because I have him in way too many leagues, and it's a Blake Snell. Now, bit of a
Oh, we
okay,
lost you there,
hold
my
on.
friend.
Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, no, I know my laptop over here is not doing what I wanted to do. Actually, I'm trying to look up if Blake Snell is still throwing that changeup.
I got that for you if you
And
want to give you.
yeah, he's thrown it about 15 times so far this year, and that's more than he should be in my opinion. But let's see if I could pull up those numbers for you on the year, because once again my laptop is not working too great right now. Okay, I got it. So Blake Snell's the 773rd fantasy player so far this year. He's pitched 8 innings. He's got 11 strikeouts. He's got a 7.88 ERA with a 2.13 WHIP, and just off to a tough start. That first outing against Colorado, he did have 9 strikeouts, but once again, the earned runs and the WHIP was horrible. And then he goes out against Atlanta and just craps the bed with 3.2 innings, 2 strikeouts, a bunch of I believe he allowed 4 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, just all over the place so far to start the season. And it doesn't get any easier going into next week, because next week Blake Snell gets the Mets. The thing is, he had a monster second half last year, and he's capable. He won the Cy Young a few years back, and he had a sub-2 ERA. It's the mental side for Blake Snell, and that's one thing. If you've listened to us before, I've always talked about it. He's not a student of the game. He's somebody who's out there, playing video games on Twitch and making rap songs and just doing his own thing out there. If this guy ever just really locked in and just paid attention to the game and did everything that he had to do, he could be the best pitcher in baseball. But I'm a little bit down on Blake Snell right now. To be honest, I wouldn't even say to buy low, because you never know with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's legitimately the Kyler Murray of baseball. It's actually funny.
Well said, brother.
I'm wondering if they both play Call of Duty together.
Oh, they probably do. I'm gonna be shocked. They play Fortnite. They play. Yeah. I was gonna have some choice things to say there, but we keep this PG, so I'll make those jokes off there.
Yeah, let's just pray that it's just a little fluke and a little getting adjusted to the pitch clock is really what I really hope is what's behind it. It seems to have taken a toll on a few people. But let's move on here. Let's talk about Mr. Ozzie Albies, somebody I was touting all offseason, and I still don't think that this is the end all be all on Ozzie, because I mean he will bounce back. There's just no question in my eyes, right? Right now he's going 8 for 36, not great, with a run. No doubles, no triples, a home run at least, 4 ribs, 2 walks to 4 Ks, and no stolen bases. He's batting about 222, which is the atrocious part. And what I do like to see from him, which is encouraging for me, is the fact that he's at least putting up the counting stats, right? So he got a bomb, he's got you 4 ribs, and he's not really striking out. It seems like he's just either grounding out or flying out. I haven't actually physically been watching Atlanta, and I can't really pull up those stats in this moment. But what I can say is he's not swinging and missing and blowing it, essentially. So that's a positive sign in the right direction. So right now, if you don't have a second baseman, or if you want to upgrade, right? Like if you don't like, I don't know, Brandon Lowe, who's just been killing it the last 2 days.
He's been hot. My boy Lowe's been hot.
But it's literally only 2 days. It's literally yesterday and today where he put his whole week.
No, that's true.
That's it. The
guy little Grand Slam ski today.
Yeah. The guy is legitimately one of those guys that's like super streaky. So like what you can do is you can probably package him for Ozzie Albies and probably do a little buy low, and then Albies will be a little bit more on the consistent side. I'm not turned off right now by him. So like this is the opportunity, I would say, go out and snag him and go from there. But before we go on the rest of these duds for the first week of fantasy baseball, we have our new sponsor, Sorare, a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace transforming fans into owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from across all 30 MLB teams. Unlike other fantasy baseball platforms, Sorare managers truly own their fantasy experience, collecting, buying, selling, competing with their players' cards against global opponents to win epic rewards. Win or lose, you still own your cards, and there's no cost to play. Sorare recently partnered with the MLB All-Stars Juan Soto and Julio Rodriguez. Can't get better than that. To serve as brand ambassadors, both are featured in Sorare's current brand campaign and will engage with the Sorare community throughout the MLB season events. head to sorare.com/lockedon. That's spelled SORARE.com to draft your team full of free player cards. Set your lineup. Start competing today to win epic rewards against the Sorare. Again, that's sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today. And just a heads up for those epic prizes, that's MLB experiences. That means games. That means prizes and all different kind of cool sports memorabilia that you could possibly imagine. If you do win these tournaments, it's really cool. Check it out. I just hopped on this week. I really am enjoying it.
Yeah, so if I can, I'm going to chime in on Ozzie Albies here before we move on to our next guy. And the thing with Ozzie is I like him. He has the top 5 second baseman potential. The thing is, I think everybody is looking back at that 2021 season, which had that juice ball out there for a while. Hit 40 doubles, 30 bombs. So he went 100, and had 20 steals. I don't know if that's the guy we see. Where he's hitting the lineup is bothering me too. He's hitting 4th, 5th, 6th. And normally you would see Ozzie at the top of that lineup where he would be getting you more runs than RBIs. But if he gets it going this season, it might be flip-flopped. So I'm looking back at that 2018, Ozzie Albies season where Ozzie played 158 games, had 105 runs. He had 24 bombs. He had 72 RBIs, 14 steals, and he had 261. Now, I might flip-flop that. I might say 72 runs, 100 plus RBIs with the 24 bombs, the 14 steals, and 261 batting average. I could see him doing more something along the lines of that than that 21 that I mentioned where he went absolutely off. And he does have a career 270 batting average, so the batting average could be plus. But once again, the guy's coming off, that thumb injury, and I believe it was, an ACL or something along the lines of.
Dom seemed to have lost his audio there. I apologize. He's probably having a little internet issue.
Can you hear me at all? Or
now we can hear you, buddy.
Okay,
it's okay.
Yeah. So my internet sometimes likes to do its own thing over here. But as I was saying, with Ozzie, the thing is he's coming off those injuries last year, and I think he's still working the kinks out, and he could be better down the stretch this year. But once again, I'm not really holding my breath on him going back to that breakout player, that he was in 2021. So, I guess it's hold for now because you're not really going to sell him for too much at the moment. But let's to our next guy. And Matt, this is somebody you kind of hit the nail on the head on. I know you were, a little down on him, and those guys over at Locked On Astros, were a little upset with you, but you wound up being right. It's Alex Bregman. So with Alex Bregman, he's off to a tough start so far this season. And once again, Matt, if you have his stats pulled up, go ahead, my brother, take the lead because this internet is just not working with me today.
I got you, bro. Let me get it up right quick. I mean, what are you going to say about Bregman other than who he is, right? And hey. He's not going to be a home run guy for you either. So here's what he's doing so far. He's about 5 for 36, which is great. Just good job, bro. 6 runs. He got a rib. He got 4 walks to 8 strikeouts too. Way to go, bro. And he's batting at a really nice 139. Now, here's the thing. I'm just throwing some hate because he's an Astro. And because truthfully, trash cans are really a thing. But I mean, hey, he's going to bounce back. We all know who he is. It's just right now it's really rough, and it's a slow start for him. I'm sure it's going to bounce back. Dom, take it away.
Yeah, I like Alex Bregman. Third base is, kind of tough this year. And Bregman last year, he actually had a solid season. He had 93 runs in 155 games. He had 38 doubles. He had 23 bombs, 93 RBIs. He's not really going to steal your bases anymore, and he hit 259. Bregman's a career 275 hitter, so I think that batting average bounces back up. He's been hitting second in that Astros lineup with, all the injuries with Altuve and Brantley and everybody down. So he's hitting second, so those runs and RBIs should be pretty solid there. And if he hits you 25 plus bombs, that's kind of where he's at these days. That bouncy ball of 2019 is gone, so he's not going to hit 41 bombs again. But hey, 25 plus, if he goes 90-90 and he hits 275, that's definitely going to be good for you at the third base position. Let's move on to my last guy here, my buddy, my good old pal, Mr. Lucas Giolito.
Bro, I smell the hate
if you
from
listen
here.
To me, Oh God, please, like you could definitely smell it. You can smell it coming. I told you guys to avoid him. I told you guys, listen, I think he's just he was really a spider tack type of guy from what I heard and what I've seen. And he's been garbage. He's been hot garbage so far this season. He's really been pretty bad. So let me pull those numbers up here. It's I believe it's 9 innings for Giolito. 9 innings, 9 Ks, 17 hits, 9 ERA. He's given up 9 runs, those 9 innings. He's given up 2 home runs already. He's only walked 1, which is actually pretty good. He's got a 2 whip, so he's just been pretty bad. He did face Houston the first time out, and it's like, oh, all right, okay, you give him a break for that one. Yeah, then he goes up against Pittsburgh, and you know what he does? He gets pounded for 7 runs in 4 innings by the Pirates. They did hit a lot of singles against him, so it didn't really help. But it just really doesn't look like he's going to bounce back to anywhere near what he was. So I'm kind of have given up, have given up on Lucas Giolito at this point, and I think all of you should as well. I don't know about dropping him because if you paid up for him right now, you might want to just hold to see if it gets any better. I don't think it does. And, he's still 28 years old, so I hate to say it, but, I don't really see it happen. And I think he's already been dropped in a couple of my leagues. So, I don't know, man. Just I'm not doing it. Not with Lucas Giolito anymore.
Yeah, so here's the deal. He's one of those guys you could probably float in a trade for like multiple for one. That kind of has some name value and probably can let him be a landmine on somebody else's team. Because I'd rather see him flop on somebody else's team or even bounce back on somebody else's team than me have to carry the ugliness of what is Lucas Giolito this year. So I'm really just not about it. And, I think it's a fair point. So let's move off some sadness, right? And let's talk about the rookies here. I think it's important to highlight how they're doing. And I just want to highlight, honestly, the 2 guys that are just absolutely mashing this year. And I want to start off with Mr. Jordan Walker. I don't know if you guys seen what he's been up to recently, but Jordan Walker has been absolutely mashing it because, it's funny. When we were all worried about, he slowed down after he hurt his shoulder. It took him a little bit time to get back to what he was doing. But I think he finally clicked and he's finally gotten his rhythm back because over the last couple of games, the guy's just been smoking the ball. So he's also gotten a hit in every single major league appearance, I might add. So he hasn't gone a game.
Which real quick, Matt, I don't know if you saw, but it's like him, Ted Williams, and like Eddie Murray are the only players ever to have gotten a hit in their first like 9 games.
Right, which is ridiculous. And those are great names to be up there with. So let's go.
Crazy company. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jordan Walker just looks good. Like he looks patient out there. He's not chasing. He's not looking like he's like some rook, getting frightened by the ball. No, the guy's putting the bat to the ball and doing his thing. Like, he has 2 bombs already. He has a stolen base. And on top of that, he has a ribby in every game he's been in except for 2. So, like, he's throwing it up, right? Except for 3. No, 2. So right now his total stats for the season is 2 runs, 2 bombs, 7 ribs, a stolen base, and batting .355 with an OPS of 1. How you doing? Jordan Walker looks to be that prime time breakout, and if you scooped him up in your drafts, you're probably feeling like a guy, like a champion. And you know what? Let's go Jordan Walker.
Yeah, Jordan Walker's paying off so far right now, man, as you said, Matt, and he has 3rd in outfield eligibility, so it's 2 positions where, things are kind of tough at the moment. And, he has been hitting a little lower in that lineup, but I think it's going to move up. He's been hitting 7th or 8th, but if he keeps this going, sky's the limit for the kid if he gets in that top end of the lineup. I will say if I had one critique, it was just I don't like the 6 strikeouts to no walks. He needs to show me a little bit more plate discipline at the plate because the thing is once the book gets out on him, pitchers could start mixing things up. And if he's not able to show that plate discipline and take a walk, things could go, on the down route. But, hey, Jordan Walker looks great in every other category here. A lot of ribbies, bomb skis, chipped in a steal. He looks great. And so we got one more last, good thing we want to throw out here, and it's Corbin Carroll. Man, oh, Lord, has Corbin Carroll been on fire so far this season. And once again, if you went out there and you took the risk on Corbin Carroll, it's paying off. Right now, Corbin Carroll's 9 for 35. He has 6 runs, 2 homers, 3 ribbies, 5 steals already for Corbin Carroll. The batting average isn't great at 257, but you know what? 257 isn't killing it right now. He's right. If he was hitting 260, we wouldn't be, saying the same thing. It's only about 3 batting average points. And once again, the thing is with these, the young kids, Corbin Carroll's looking a little bit, shaky in the plate discipline department too. He has 8 strikeouts to no walks. So that's the one thing that gets me nervous when I see stuff like that. It's like, all right, you need to learn that, hey, listen, at least a couple, at least show it. Because if you're not showing the fact that you're willing to take a walk, some of these pitchers, as they get, they get the book on you, they say, hey, this is what he likes, this is what he doesn't like. They start talking to each other. The analytics departments come out and they start having more of, where they like the ball, where they don't like the ball. It's going to be tough if you're not willing to take that walk. It's, things could change in a heartbeat. But Corbin Carroll, man, he's looking absolutely great so far. And lastly, I just want to see, I know they had been moving him around in that lineup, but he's been hitting 5th a lot lately, and I do like that. If he stays in that number 5 spot, I would like a lot better in the leadoff, but if he's hitting in that 5 spot, there's a lot of upside there in that young and up-and-coming Diamondbacks team.
Absolutely. And I mean, here's the thing too about, both these guys that kind of gives me the confidence that, hey, like what we're seeing right now from the batting average department and with the strikeouts to walk thing, especially Corbin Carroll specifically, he had plate discipline down in the minors. Like, I mean, let me just pull this up real quick because I do want to make sure that we're giving the accurate information here. He took 67 walks to 107 strikeouts in 2022 in the minors.
Yeah.
Like he has the plate discipline. I think he's just a little bit of the bigs and the bigs anxiety of that making that change. And Jordan Walker is the prototypical new stereotype of what's a successful batter. Like he is a guy that's going to strike out a lot. Like if you play in a points league, he may not be as valuable if you get a deduction for strikeouts. But he's going to bat 300 because that's what he did in the minors. So he's just that new prototypical. I strike out 27% of the time now, and I'm still going to hit 300. So we'll see what happens with the two of them. But I'm very confident in Corbin Carroll, having that plate discipline. But I think let's take it away here, man.
Yes, sir. So, guys, that is all for today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Also, check out our website if you already haven't. We're going to keep, updating with you guys there with the waiver wire columns, stuff like that. You'll have access to all of our episodes there. It's a little bit about us if you want to know a little bit more about us. And thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. And after making us your first listen each and every day, why don't you go check out Locked On MLB as your second listen? Locked On MLB covers all the baseball teams in, a great way. If you're a big baseball fan, Locked On MLB is definitely for you. But guys, we will be back with a new episode tomorrow. So lock back on in with us then. And until then, see you.
Peace.